Hi there, Bruce Wallace from Dundee and Victoria Chess Club in Bonnie, Scotland, bringing you another chess game. The beginning of a series, actually, on what I'm calling Why Did They Resign? Or unplayed combinations. When the resigning player sees how the end is coming and rather than face it, resigns, even though it's not completely obvious. And I'm starting probably with the most famous example here, from the game between Wilhelm Steinitz and Kurt von Bardoben, played in Hastings in 1895. Here Steinitz is white, and this position has arisen from a Gucco piano or Italian game, and you will notice from the position that white has a battery here of rook and queen hitting the knight, so pinning the knight, and only the queen is defending the knight. So black can't castle. If black castles, white can just win a piece. So von Bardoben can't castle, but here Steinitz plays a beautiful combination, beginning with the move d5. Now the aim of this move is to free up the d4 square for the knight on f3, which is a wonderful square for the knight. Von Bardoben takes the pawn, then the knight comes to the beautiful d4 square. Now all of white's pieces now are harmonically placed to take part in the final attack. Von Bardoben plays his king to f7, and now knight e6, the knight can't be taken. Rook h to c8, which threatens to exchange rooks on the c-file. Now Steinitz brings the queen in with queen g4, threatening queen takes g7 check, which would be decisive. So g6, blocking that. Now knight g5 check. Obviously the knight can't be taken because the queen drops. So von Bardoben moves the king back to e8, and now the combination begins with a fantastic series of rook offers. Rook takes knight check. Now black can take the rook with either the king or the queen. What happens? If queen takes rook, rook takes rook check, rook takes rook, which is forced, queen takes check, queen d8 forced, queen takes a d8 check, king takes d8, knight f3, and white wins a piece up, easily winning. What if the king takes? A number of scintillating lines here. King takes rook, and white can win, for example, with queen b4 check. If king goes back to e8, rook e1 check, king d8, knight e6 check. Queen has to take, really. Queen takes e6. If the queen doesn't take and king goes back to e8, then it's merely queen f8 mate. So after knight e6 check, the queen must take. White picks up the queen, rook takes, rook c1 check, rook e1 blocking, rook takes e1, queen takes e1, and white is up the queen against rook and will win easily. Another line, if king takes rook, then rook e1 check also wins. If king goes to d6, for example, queen b4 check, king c7. Here, if black if black moves to king c7, we have knight e6 check. If king b8, queen f4 check. If the rook blocks, knight takes, and if queen takes, then it's rook e8 mate. So in fact, in this position, the best that black's got is b6, and then knight takes e8, and white is merely up a rook and is winning easily. So from these combinations, we can see that black can't take the rook. So he plays king f8. Now, I should just point out here that the queen cannot be taken. If rook takes queen, then in fact it's a mate for black. With rook takes rook check, queen must interpose, and then rook takes queen and it's mate. So after rook f7 check, just remembering it was rook e7 check, rook e7 check, king f8, and then Steinitz played rook f7, can't take the queen, and the king goes to g8. Now here, rook g7 check. I'm just wondering here, if the queen takes the rook, the same scenario applies. If queen takes rook, rook takes c8 check, rook takes c8, queen takes c8 check, queen f8, and different ways for white to win here. Simply taking the queen, but stronger is queen e6 check, king g7, queen d7 check, king h6, knight f7 check. White is winning easily here, again a piece up with a crushing position. So after king g8, rook g7 check, von Bardeman played the king to h8, and now Steinitz played rook takes h7 check. And at this point, von Bardeman got up from his chair, left the tournament hall, and did not return to his chair. And Steinitz won. Very unsportsmanlike behaviour, but it's said that in fact von Bardeman actually saw what was coming. What's recommended here in fact is queen takes rook, but then rook takes rook check, rook takes rook, queen takes rook check, king g8, queen h3 check, king g7, queen d7 check, king h6, knight f7 check. Position we saw before, it's crushing for white, nearly a 7-pawn advantage. So after rook takes s7 check, von Bardeman noticed that if he played, for example, king g8, we had rook g7 check, and if king went to f7 here, knight h7 check, and the king is forced to take the rook here. If black doesn't take the rook, for example, moves the king, then this is mate. So on knight takes h7 check, the king must take the rook, and now queen can take queen check, and there's no back rank problem for white, and it's crushing. On the other hand, after rook takes g7, if he plays king h8, now the combination finishes off beautifully with queen h4 check, king takes rook forced, and then queen h7 check, king f8, queen h8 mate check, king e7, queen g7 check, king e8, queen g8 check, king e7, queen f7 check. If the king goes to d6, it's queen takes f6 check, king e6 blocking, and queen takes queen mate. So if after queen f7 check, king goes to d8, it's queen f8 check. Remember, the king can't come to the c file because of white's rook. So after king f8 check, queen e8, and then knight f7 check, king is forced to go to d7, and then the beautiful finish, queen d6 mate. So von Bardeman, seeing this combination, got up, left the tournament hall, and never returned. And it's this unplayed combination, or unplayed mating combination that von Bardoben will forever be remembered for, having left the tournament hall. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll follow up with another classic unplayed combination soon. See you all.